NCMS association as a new association. It's not yet professional association, but a culture association try to gather the Portuguese TCM practitioners together to work on realizing the importance of having a law in Portugal which can benefit the profits of the benefits of TCM practitioners as well as the students and the patients. I believe it's not necessary for me to repeat the importance to have a law of Chinese medicine for a common TCM practitioner or a TCM professor, or for the students that have been studying in this area for years, as well as for the patients. When we talk about having a law, it's not possible to take a personal or individual point of view. We must take a point of view of this profession. For Chinese medicine to develop as an official medicine, I believe this is a necessary procedure. So in Portugal, luckily, the legalization of Chinese medicine happened in 2003 as it developed till a certain moment which requests there comes a law to regulate the activities and the rights of patients and the rights of practitioners. So in Portugal we have a different situation. The practitioners mostly they have different background. Some of them, but few of them, are from a medical background. More are from a non-medical background. So their activities, if there is no law or there is no regulation, that we can imagine the quality of the practice will face a big challenge. Also, the health of the patient will be in risk. So, with the development of the Chinese medicine in Portugal in year 2003, the Chinese medicine become not only Chinese medicine, the natural medicines become more and more popular. So it requests appears the law in Portugal. At that moment, the law is is called a non-conventional therapy. Non-conventional therapy. In 2003, there are 6 kinds of subjects, therapies have been regulated, have been legalized. In this law, we have, besides natural medicine, natural therapy, osteopath, homeopathy, only acupuncture has been included in the law. At that moment, we don't have Chinese medicine. Also, we have that moment phytotherapy, which is so-called herbal medicine, has been included in the law. But since then, 2003, when I went to Portugal, there said already exists this general law. Everything becomes stagnated. Up to now, actually the regulation hasn't been completed. Concerning of the reason, I believe it's complicated. On one side, from the government point of view, it's very difficult to identify the representative associations who has a high quality that can represent each area. On the other hand, from the practitioners, I believe many of them just feel satisfied to be protected with a general law, but without regulation. So we are doing a treatment, a medicine, which is legal, but without any regulation, without any rules. So in this situation, actually, no matter what we already talked about, the right of the practitioners, the right of the patient, the right of the student that coming into this area has no rules. So at the end, what happened is who can qualify these 6 natural therapy. In 2013, we got another lucky occasion. The government start to restart the procedure of regulation. And during this moment, we got another luck because there was a doctor, who is not a TCM doctor, is from a medical area, who was responsible for the regulation, has an idea to put Chinese medicine into the law, into the Portuguese, join with the other 6. And at that moment, our NCMS, because we have been very care concerning about the regulation. We have been to the Congress, try to know how was everything going with the regulation. So I remember this doctor asked, why not to put Chinese medicine into the law? And we give our support. Yeah, the NCMS would give all the support if Chinese medicine can be included in the law. So since 2013, this procedure developed. Up to now, already regulate 5 areas, which are naturopathy, phytotherapy, acupuncture, but Chinese medicine and homeopathy. We have been expecting that the Chinese medicine could be regulated before the 15th of July. But up to now, we are still waiting. So the situation in Portugal is, it really takes too long, in more than 10 years, that we are still waiting. So I agree with the speakers that this is going to take a long time. But I believe Chinese medicine in the Western societies today is no more the same situation as in 70s and 80s. To regulate our activity become more important than ever. So I believe we cannot depend on the others to do regulation for us. We are the ones that should work for our law. So thank you.
Pay the acupuncture insurance. When the acupuncturists come from all over the world, normally first is come from China. They have been applying for a work permit visa, and they have been here worked for 2 years. Then you must back to China for 1 year, then apply again. The second is from the EU. You can work in here and have B card by the insurance company. That is registered by the TCM industry company and the insurance company. So they will be examine the quality of the acupuncture or TCM or Tuila massage. And then they have the insurance number is we call the EMR or ASCA. If you have this number, then some insurance company will be paid back for the patient. So that is good news for the acupuncturist or TCM doctor working in Switzerland. In Switzerland, they have some like SBO TCM, like a Swiss professional organization for training, for education, for the doctor working in Switzerland. You must have continued education credit, 35 hours per year. Then they continue to review the ASCA or the EMR number. So that is very important for the clinic, for the people working in Switzerland, use acupuncture or traditional Chinese medicine. So, thank you.
Okay, so now it's time for questions. Any questions for our speakers? We are connecting our guest speaker from Canada, possible some technical problem. We're still waiting, but now it's time for our existing speakers.
Hello. Thank you.
You know, the last 10 or more than 10 years, we invested a lot of time to the regulation of Chinese medicine. So I will ask the Professor Wei-Xiang Wang, could you please give us the outline of the future for the regulation of traditional Chinese medicine? Will it be possible?
First, I should be voted for the European Parliament before I answer your question. I think, as I said, I hope we will succeed. But in general, I think I'm a quite positive person. But for the TCM legislation in the short term, it won't be very soon to see the situation we expected. But you never know, as Sunan just mentioned, so the dialogue between government to government, it will accelerate the progress. For example, if the Chinese health ministry authorities, they would start or the UK or European Parliament will respond to the request, the direct one-to-one dialogue for sure will make this process much shorter. This is the only thing I can see it now. The second is, as Pei-Ling also mentioning in the first session, and most of the TCM practitioners probably, including ourselves, we feel like we are bullied. We need to be protected. And on one hand, we understand the situation because especially many Chinese practitioners in the Western countries, we have the title of medical doctors in China, but practice in the Western countries as a practitioner of TCM, so you even cannot call yourself doctor officially. So you feel like we should be protected. But as Professor Wang just mentioning, so sometimes to open up the umbrella, so it's the same as to let our children to grow up. If we only protect them inside the bedroom, so probably it's difficult for them to grow up. So from this sense, I think for the standard of practicing TCM or the qualification of TCM practitioners in Europe, we should be ready for that moment if there is any regulation comes. For example, I don't know whether about over 10 years ago, right, Dr. Wu? Is that in UK over 10 years already they start the procedure, right? 15 years already, yeah. Because also in the Chinese associations, they have different voices, you know. One side they said, yes, that's good to have a TCM regulation. The other side, no, we don't, because there are different regulations. For example, the language part also is challenged for most of Chinese, many of Chinese practitioners in UK. For example, if they ask for very high standard of the language ability. So in general, I think in the other European countries, it will be a challenge to see a really quick progress for that. But nevertheless, we don't lose any hope. We still cross our fingers for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Wei-Xiang. One more question.
I have a question for Professor沈必清. Professor Shen, I want to ask you more in details about the continuing education for professional person. You have mentioned about there is an organization or who will be organized and who will be qualified to organize for this 35 hours or maximum 35 hours per year annum. And could you tell us a little more on these details? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's 35 hours in 1 year. You can join us the conference, or you can listen to the organization by the local TCM organization, the lecture, or you can go to clinical practice. Just show this certification to the insurance company, or most is the EMR or ASCA. Then they find that this is quality to 35 hours or not. Then the organization will send a letter to you. If the past is okay, if no, they will send a letter to you. So you must add another times up to the 35 hours. Is it okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, can I have one additional information, maybe because concerning your question about CPD. So I think Netherlands is one of the countries who have the most complete system for the CPD of TCM. For example, in my association, we ask 36 hours per year. And the association, we evaluate all the TCM educational institutes who have qualifications. So, for example, we have about 15 schools who offer the continued professional educations. So every time if they have seminars, or we can be 1 day or 2 days or more days. And we have a special committee in the organization who give the
that are going to regulate the TCM in Switzerland. It's not the government, because in Portugal it's not the insurance company, it's the government. We talk directly with the government, we have the requests from the government, and we don't accept that this kind of people can make these things. For example, at this moment, as there is no what we can call main association, the certification is given and the professional card is given by the Central Health Service System. We must all register. Make me clear, is the insurance company that are going to regulate in Switzerland or the government? Till now I don't heard nothing about the Switzerland government.
In Switzerland, the canton, similar like local council, have the authority to carry out the medical laws. This movement actually is running by the insurance company and TCM Industry Association. For example, we prescribe herbal tea, but we don't have the right to give the tea in the clinic. You must get the tea from the pharmacy. And Switzerland TCM industry, for example, is a doctor lawyer and complements. They produce which tea or which herbs you can use in Switzerland. Then you got the tea must be in the pharmacy. So we only prescription for the patients. So the different insurance company, different policy. For example, for me, I have 6 or 5 insurance company number. Then if they check my name, so they can pay back for the patient.
My question.
Hi.
Yeah.
My question is, who certificate, who give you the professional card?
Professional card is EMR or ASCA. This is like a volume medicine registration. We call the EMR, or Switzerland Foundation of Complementary Medicine, ASCA, ASCR.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shen. Thank you for all the speakers. Thank you for all your participants to join our forum. That's the end of our forum, but it is not our road to regulation. It's a long way to go. Let's work together. Come on. That's all for the forum. Now we have 1 hour lunch break. Our lunch is ready, and